Hello, my name is Adeline Janed and I am a 16-year-old girl from Boston, Massachusetts. This past summer, I was a global citizen and was able to travel to Amsterdam and Berlin for the Global Leadership Summit in Berlin. This year, based on our theme of technology, I had to make an action project that reflected exactly what I was to do to improve on an issue that I chose. So my question is, how can we utilize technology into cultivating cultural awareness among our youth? Technology is very prevalent. However, cultural awareness, not so much. So what I wanted to do was create something in my community that would raise cultural awareness and just global awareness in general, using the technology that I have prevalent in my school especially. I also wanted to teach an understanding of global politics and global events so children and students are more aware of what's happening in their own world. So to talk a little bit about what exactly my project is, I'm an anchor for my school news, and basically what that means is that I produce a lot of information that is put onto the school news every single morning and of every single week that the entire school is able to see. And then as an anchor, I deliver the information and school announcements. So I decided it would be a great idea to include a current event segment into our show. And now what this would do is basically announce any global headlines on the news to all the students across the school. As diverse as our school is, I find that there is a lot of gap between understanding one another and asking each other questions about their tradition and their culture. So I thought by doing this, providing an unbiased platform of news every week would maybe spark some conversation and maybe enlighten students as to what is going on in the world and what they could possibly do to make a difference and a change. So I'm Lebanese and I come from foreign descent, so I've already had this exposure to a new perspective. I speak a different language, my family has different traditions, and I've just been able to have this diverse outlook on global politics and what is really happening. However, a lot of the students that I go to school with don't really have this benefit. So being able to travel and see other countries is a luxury. So this past summer I was able to go to 3 countries, the Netherlands, Germany, and Argentina. And I realized that there was such a huge difference between Europe, South America, and even North America. And by gathering all this information, I found it extremely imperative to be up to date about what's going on in the world because of these enormous differences. How are we supposed to lead and how are we supposed to progress as a generation if we are unaware of our neighbors and unaware of what's really happening in our world? So my recent travels have definitely opened my eyes to being aware and being more educated upon what happens in other countries, such as their economy or the way that they run their education systems, or how they recycle or conserve energy. And I think all of these problems have solutions in every single country, but you have to start somewhere, and that's knowledge. A lot of the students in my school don't have that knowledge, so by doing this, I am able to raise awareness and trigger some conversations that may lead to innovation and different solutions that aren't necessarily there yet. My goals and my dreams for this project is to create a new community. I want a community that wants to learn more about what is said on the news and wants to, research and make their own opinion and maybe get in contact with students near them and abroad to figure out what to do in different situations and problems. If I'm a student sitting in class and I'm watching the news and I hear about all these issues going on everywhere, so not just Russia, not just China, not just America, but I want to be able to shed light on Africa, shed light on, certain parts of Europe, South America, so everyone is covered. And culturally we will be more aware because we'll be able to understand who the diverse people in our school are, what countries face different challenges in their lives and what these students have to say about it. And hopefully this will be able to give a motivation to fabricate solutions and to fabricate progression in terms of, raising money or starting projects or even getting in contact with high officials. So overall, my goal of this entire project is to really spark conversation. My school has run into many issues of racism and of ignorance. A fundamental that I truly believe in is the fact that by being more culturally connected and understanding the person you are dealing with, peace is easily fabricated. Peace is able to be obtained and is that much easier to get. When we are able to put a story to a person and understand who they are and where they come from, it is so much easier to become friends, and it is so much easier to grow as a community. So by doing this, I want to really work on collaboration and really focus in on the difference and the beauty of diversity that we have in our school. But by doing this, sharing global events with one another and sparking this different side of thinking that isn't usually promoted at school, we're able to think of solutions and say, what would you do if you were in my position? Or did you hear about that on the news? How is that happening? What are our leaders doing about that? We as a generation need to come together and create strength and unity to take down these bad things. What a better place to start thinking about that than school? So again, I ask you, how can we utilize technology into cultivating cultural awareness among our youth? Thank you for hearing about my project.